Hey, welcome back. It's David with Brand Rocket. Today we're going to talk about formulas. Exciting, right? Well, it should be because the formulas are what drive the performance within Google Ads. And we're not going to get into like really deep discussions about formulas. It's pretty simple. We're talking about the Google ad rank formula and we're talking about quality score, something that we always have to keep in mind as we're building out these campaigns correctly to give you a leg up as soon as you launch. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to start with Google ad rank. Let me see here. Let me switch over to this next slide. And you can see that ad rank equals your CPC bid times your quality score. Now, ad rank determines where you're ranked on the Google results page. So if somebody is searching again for like chiropractor near me, right? So where do you rank versus the competition on that page? You can see because it's a product of your CPC bid times your quality score. When you're starting out, your quality score, by the way, is 0 to 10, right? And when you're starting out, you don't have any data. So your quality score is basically 0. So you almost have to overbid in the beginning just to get your ad ranked where it needs to be. And it's something I recommend, for the first month or so, just spend more money and then you can back it off as the quality score goes up. So let me just kind of step back and explain why ad rank exists. So back in the day, many moons ago, in the beginning of the internet, we're talking about like mid 90s or so, the search engines before Google were these old search engines like Excite and AltaVista and InfoSeek, to name three. And they were, the user experience was questionable, right? I mean, it was great because it was brand new technology and you can search and find a lot of different things, like this wealth of information. This virtual library opened up for everybody, so everybody was excited about it. This is during the .com boom, but there was a lot of there was a lack of quality in the searching. So you could search for, chiropractor near me or whatever, and you might find like a chiropractic pillow or something like that, or something completely different, not related, where somebody is just bidding on that keyword. So it created a very questionable search experience. And along came Google, and they decided to do things differently. They decided, okay, we want to make sure that our experience, the search experience, is meaningful to somebody, that it's actually adding value to their life. And what do we do about that? And they came up with this ad rank formula. Ad rank, again, equals CPC bid times your quality score. Okay, so this allows a couple things. It allows Google to earn revenue by basically saying you got to have a bid that's competitive. Remember, Google Ads is an auction, right? So you got to be competitive. And then also you have to have a high quality. You have to be offering a high quality experience on their search engine. High quality can mean three different things. And we're going to get into them on the next slide. But basically, it's ad relevancy. Does your ad copy match the query? So are you truly answering this person's need? The second is your page quality. Does your page load quickly? Is it non-spammy, right? Or when you get to the page, does it do a bunch of pop-ups and there's all these different things you have to do, which creates like a miserable experience. And then expected CTR is expected click-through rate of your ad in comparison to the competitors. But all right, so that is an ad rank equals CPC bid times your quality score. Let's take a closer look at quality score. Okay, so this is, again, nobody knows the exact formula. This is Google Google has this tucked away in a vault somewhere, right? So nobody really knows what the quality score formula is, but there's been a lot of testing over the years, and there's an agreement as to what we think it is, right? And so this, I would say, is fairly accurate, but take it with a grain of salt for sure. So quality score, comprised of different slices of pie would be like 40, almost 40%. I'm just gonna round up, like 40% landing page experience, about 40% expected click-through rate, and again, that's expected CTR, or your click-through rate of your ads compared to the competitors on the search results page. Okay, and think about this: like, the higher you are up on the page, the higher your CTR, and theoretically the higher your lead quality, right? So if you have better visibility, you're going to get more clicks, and your CTR is going to go up. And that's Google's like sneaky little way of getting you to spend more money, quite honestly, right? So, and then the other one is ad relevance. And this is the easiest one for us to control, which is why when we build out these chiropractic ads in Google, we create thematic ad groups so that we can create ad copy that is very specific to what somebody is searching for. Okay, that allows us to kind of get traction right out of the gate instead of showing up ad copy that is kind of diluted and not really meaningful, and then results in a bad user experience. And then let's say they went to a web page, and in the web page itself was just kind of mundane, and it didn't really speak to the specific pain that they were searching about. And then they were there for maybe a split second and then hit the back button. Right, so that's a negative signal that gets sent into Google. So keep that in mind as well. So it all works together. Again, at the end of the day, it's all about the user experience and providing them value for their time, right? So if they're searching for something on the chiropractic side specific to a service that you're offering, make sure that you are doing everything you can to structure your ad copy so that it resonates with their need at that time. Now, we do this stuff all day long in chiropractic, and have built, thousands and thousands of ads and ad groups, and definitely thousands of keywords structured properly. So if you ever need any assistance, we build this stuff for a living, and it can be very time consuming. In fact, the keyword build is the most time consuming. The way we do it, and we'll talk about it here in a bit, is we create a Google Sheets document. So it's collaborative, and we make sure that everything is structured in a way that, we are adding value to whatever search is happening. And then the quality scores are as low as possible out of the gate. And for good reason. So quality score doesn't just exist just because it's like, hey, here's your number 10 quality score. Congratulations, pat on the back, right? It's not about that at all. It's about user experience, and as a result, you get rewarded by Google in terms of lower cost per click. And this is the way it works. So the formula, I guess there's three formulas, right? So we covered ad rank, we covered quality score, even though we don't really know what the formula is, but we have a pretty good guess. And then we have this other formula. It's like, how much do you pay on a per click basis? Okay, so quality score and cost per click, and it is your price. So whenever somebody clicks, so somebody goes to the Google search engine, and they search like back pain help or whatever, right? So as soon as they search that, in a split second, Google has this auction behind the scenes, and it's looking at a variety of factors. It's looking at so many signals that I'm not going to mention here, because even on mobile, it's like looking at your location. There's a lot of different factors that come into play. But here's the formula in terms of like how much you are going to actually pay per click. So your price per click is the ad rank of the advertiser below you divided by your quality score plus a penny, right? So let's look at an example. So we have here advertiser 1. They have a quality score of 10 because they hired Brand Rocket. No, they did their job, right? So they did their job. They structured their account properly. The ad groups are thematic built. They spent a lot of time on their ad copy. And then so their quality score is top notch. It's 10. So it's 0 to 10, right? Their bid is $3, and their ad rank as a result is 30, right? So their CPC bid, using this formula up here, ad rank of the advertiser below you, which would be 20 from here, divided by 10, quality score plus a penny, $2.01. Not bad for doing the legwork up front. All right, advertiser 2, CPC bid of $5, so quite a bit higher, right? A quality score of 4 because they don't really know what they're doing. Maybe they lucked into the 4, who knows? That gives an ad rank of 20, and then using that same formula ends up with $3.06. So you can see that they're paying, $3. They're actually paying more to be listed underneath in the search results. And then let's look at advertiser 3. They paid $7, which is double of the CPC bid that advertiser 1 paid. their quality scores are horrible because they threw all of their keywords into a single ad group. They didn't spend that much time on their ad copy. Their landing page is awful because they didn't put any thought into it. So their quality score is reflective of that. They end up with a quality score of 2 and an ad rank of 14. So again, using that formula, you end up with $4.05, double, more than double of the advertiser ranked in the #1 position, and they're paying more than double as well, right? So it's in terms of like CPC bids. So they're bidding more than twice as much. Their actual CPC bid is definitely more than twice as much. So it really does pay to take the time to structure this stuff carefully. All right. So just as a quick review, just going to recap this real quick. So ad rank, again, your CPC bid times your quality score comprised of landing page relevance, get your ad copy right, thematic ad groups, landing page experience. So making sure you have a quality landing page experience where the content is relevant and your landing page loads quickly, right? So really fast. We actually do landing pages as well. So that are served on servers that are like lightning fast. And then expected CTR, expected click-through rate of your ads in comparison to the others on the page. And then we just talked about this, right? So I know we still need to get into the nitty-gritty of building stuff up, but everything else is like so important, to learn the game before you play the game. And that's why I'm spending so much time on this, because I care about your success. And I want it to be structured properly. And there's a lot of this detail that gets missed by a lot of people, okay? Because I do audits all day long, and I see these same issues over and over again, where chiropractors are going, Google Ads doesn't work for me. I'm getting all this waste coming in. I'm getting these irrelevant calls, people calling me for things that are completely, not even services that we offer, or not the client types that we need to build our practice. And it's because the account wasn't structured properly. It's as simple as that. And Google doesn't want you to structure it properly, quite honestly. They want to kind of lead you in, get you set up with broad match keywords. Maybe you'll get some leads here and there, and you just keep feeding the beast, right? You just keep feeding, and then they hit their quarterly revenue numbers. But it's not about that. This is about you and your profitability, not the profitability of Google. Google will do fine on their own. But for small businesses in particular, the very businesses that I care deeply about, you've got to make sure that this is structured properly, okay? So hopefully that's helpful, and thank you for hanging in. I know this is another long video, but we're going to get through it. All right, I'll see you in the next video.